Even those who feel they have done things, they tried everything, they've tried to become actor, they failed, they are still living in bondage, trying to poke their mouth into what does not concern them. Tell them that this is living reality. He should go to his state and fight. He's an attempted politician. He tried in Labour Party, he ran away. He tried acting, he was living in bondage. He's an attempted lawyer. He has never moved one motion before. So such people, don't listen to them. This is within my rights. And he is not from Akwa Ibom State. We don't welcome him in Akwa Ibom State. This is Akwa Ibom State matter. As the person on the driver's seat today, I am the one holding the steering. And I know where go slow, no go day. I know where pothole, no day. Now it make me the carry Akwa Ibom, go for express.
Is it not amazing that when Governor Umeno went to APC, that 3 commissioners, as I heard, said they were not going with him. Even one commissioner had 2 portfolios, risking his livelihood. You can imagine the level that Nigerians detest APC. However,
since you also made reference to Governor Enomo, he also made a comment concerning you over your comment on him, saying that you are living in bondage. How do you respond to that?
you know, first and foremost, he demonstrated ignorance in creativity and the artistic world. Sorry, it was Andy Okeke that lived in bondage, not Kenneth Okonkwo. And then, Andy Okeke, even in living in bondage, the film ended in his deliverance. And even in the sequel, Andy Okeke became Pastor Andy Okeke. And Pastor Andy Okeke is not a fake one. He is original one. So, let's look at it this way. Pastor Imeno said it was a failure. Can you imagine? Living in Bondage was shot in 1992. This is 2025. That should be about 33 years. And that movie is still relevant enough that Pastor Imeno will make a reference to it. That movie created Living in Bondage. The Living in Bondage created the Nollywood that has employed millions of the youth and made us proud worldwide. We are now the number 2 in the whole world in Nollywood. And Pastor Imeno has just become a governor for 2 years. And he's already fading. 2 years. And Living in Bondage is 33 years. And it's still relevant that Governor Imeno will make a reference to it. Governor Imeno in his life will never be able to create up to 1 million jobs. Living in Bondage has created more than millions of jobs. You know, Daniel Boala say once you enter APC, your brain will stop working. It is obvious that Pastor Umeno's brain has stopped working. Why am I saying that? Was it not Pastor Umeno's daughter that accused him of sacrificing the wife? So who is now living in bondage? The truth is that Pastor Umeno now is now the real Andy Okeke in real life. Because he's been accused by his own daughter, not me, that he used his wife for sacrifice. That was what Andy Okeke did. So, and Pastor Imeno wanted to say, no, we are living in the dream world. That's the reality. The reality now is that he's the one who is being accused by his daughter that he used his own wife to sacrifice. Good. That was what Andy Okeke did. So the truth is that if there is anybody living in bondage now, it is Pastor Umeno. And it is showing, since he entered into APC, it has been from one calamity to the other, one calamity to the other. And Kenneth Okonkwo is still moving in my fight for the security and welfare of the people. So I sympathize with Umeno. Look at him. He said, I left Labour Party. I left this. I have never transferred the mandate of any party to another political party. Umeno, whatever he is today, was given to him by PDP. He was made by PDP. And he left PDP for APC. Who is the person that is morally bankrupt? Since I entered political party, I have been the one given to the political party without complaining. Because I will tell you what I want. And nobody will make me to do what I don't want. Because they will know from the one. I'm not coming in for loyalty to you as a politician or to a political party, but for Nigerians. So nobody will make me to move against my principle. Once you start doing anything that does not guarantee the security and welfare of Nigerians, you have a problem with me. Once you're doing anything that does not align with principle, my principle, structure of criminality should be destroyed. So if structure of criminality is existing in under your nose, like it was existing in Peter Obi's case, Peter Obi said, Nigeria, he wants to fight structure of criminality. But structure of criminality was existing right under his nose, and he was voting with them. So, Umeno, who is saying that I left LP and ran away, the same Umeno left PDP that has given him everything and say he cannot fight. Oh, I cannot fight like weak and ran away. No party has given me anything, and I have not transferred any party's mandate to another party. So he appeared uncoordinated, childish, and of course, like I said,
a very historic moment in our history, sometimes exciting history, sometimes beleaguered history. June 12 for him and for the whole Nigerian people represents something very tangible in our journey of nationhood. So for choosing this particular day, this specific moment of time to do this youth summit, he feels very, very passionate about the work all of you guys are doing. He believes too that to guarantee the future of democracy in Nigeria, especially multi-party democracy, which is under severe threat and stress, as we all know, will require the labor and sacrifices, the individual and collective commitment of every one of you. Not just the participants here who are like delegates, but the entirety of Nigerian youth in their millions spread across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. His Excellency Wale knows that 2027 will be a very momentous period in our democratic consolidation journey. It will witness the activities of a group like Cobden, who of course will be at the trenches and the vanguard to protect democracy. He believes if you do not protect democracy, he cannot protect the Nigerian state, he cannot protect our economy, he cannot guarantee peace and security, he cannot guarantee eradication of poverty, he can't even guarantee the investment from outside, that is foreign investment coming to Nigeria. Neither can we get out of the situation we find ourselves. So democracy is not just a name and word for him, it's a living symbol of who we are as a people. That millions have suffered from 1914, since the birth of Nigeria, through the colonial struggle to independence, and then through the 80s and 90s, when the military held sway. And groups like Cobden, then Nadeco, and so on and so forth, did their bit. In this historic moment, he believes it is now the turn of Cobden to ensure the strengthening, the deepening, and consolidation of liberal democracy in Nigeria, that in 2027 we may have a return to true democratic principles and practice. Finally, and this is a message he wants to resonate, in moments like this, and in a country facing severe headwinds, from economy to politics to security to high-handedness of those in authority, he believes that it is not time to agonize, it is time to organize. Do not agonize, but organize. If you have that as a watchword, you will at the end of the day ensure that democracy will thrive and the kind of government and the people who will power it will endure in Nigeria, not just in 2027, going forward. What to do differently 2027 to protect the mandate? You know, you've heard from His Excellency the power of your conviction and the strength of the devotion. But there's something else. That sense of organization is important to be organized. You see, the lady who asked the question, she made a point. She didn't have a tag as an agent. So enthusiasm can take you far. It will not take you far enough. Because you may be there, but if you don't get, as an agent registered, in that case you can demand for the paper. It can photocopy, it can snap it there, it can transmit it to maybe a center in Abuja. Got the result. There will be a center in Abuja this time around. There will be a situation room. It will be well manned by experts. So every single voting precinct, there will be 2 agents there. You know that in substantial part of the country, now I'm not speaking for the governor, I'm speaking as we did now. Substantial part of the country, there were no agents for the Labour Party. The people voted. Some stayed there overnight, some were even tear gassed. Some people were chased away. So, but this time, if you have that infrastructure, different from what the Senator will say, structure will not win election, which is true. But that infrastructure that every voting precinct, they will have an accredited agent who is going to believe in the mission and purpose of that campaign and have the equipment to do it. So at the end of the day, you have a paper to flash. If there's no precinct where there is no paper given to you, there is no reason why election will be announced in that particular precinct. Right. So that's why they just to add that little point that is
Thank
important
you so much,
to have
Professor.
that.
Thank you.
Slightly back on the political education. Yeah. And you all heard His Excellency loud and clear. Yeah. It's a personal, individual obligation to be mentally empowered, to be conscious of the political environment, to make the right choice. Yeah. But beyond that, beyond that, political education is key to political participation and making right choices. In 1998, when we were inserting this democracy, the Americans threw their agencies at us. You hear of IRI, International Republican Institute. It's a product of the Republican Party, even though it's an independent agency. You hear the NDI, National Democratic Institute, is a product of the Democratic Party. So 2 parties in America have generated the strategic and intellectual content to have an agency to do what? Conscientize people, develop their mind, and ensure that they know what political participation is all about. Actually, the PDP in 1999-2000 tried to experiment in that direction by forming what was called PDI, People Democratic Institute. The idea is a training center to nurture people who believe in party philosophy and party ideology. Now, going to 2027, you saw, if I take an example with His Excellency, you saw the movement was almost like an instantaneous movement to bet this Labour Party within days and weeks, and then short period of time to do the campaign. So at that stage in 2023, the party was an SPV. It was a special purpose vehicle, even though there was obedient energy and ideological strength. Now, good enough, this government panicked and started transition 2 years ahead. I suspect that between the next 6 months, there will be a full political agency that will power a progressive dream. There will be enough time now to build an institution within that party that will start the process of political education so that you know what you are doing. 2, obedient movement should not just obedient movement in holding summit. It becomes the engine room for political mobilization and conscientizing the people across the country. Once we do that, things will work well. Several times